Madison Central School District on Monday, May 10th, 2021. Mr. Brooks will record the members present or absent, and board members are present, and Mr. Avery is joining us via Zoom tonight, so we do have a quorum. If we all stand and we'll pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I believe we have no adjustments to the agenda, so at this time I would approve a motion to approve the agenda. Mrs. Kappeman, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Hanemichael, questions or discussion? Mr. Brooks, call the roll, please.
Nelson.
Aye.
Hanemichael.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Kappeman.
Aye.
Bundy.
Aye.
Avery.
Aye.
Merrill.
Aye. Declare that the agenda is approved. Next, we go on to items 6, which is the consent agenda items, 7 through 9. The first item on there is approval of our April 12th regular board meeting minutes. And then Mr. Bundy, Mrs. Schultz, and myself went through the financials, and I think we saw that things were in good shape there. That takes us on to item number 9 then, and Mr. Jorgensen, the personnel action.
We have a number of personnel actions tonight. Resignation, Tyler Lee as temporary custodian, that was effective 4/9/21. Skylar Walczak as technology support, effective 4/23. And Ben Young, also with tech support on 5/14. Joanne Kaloff as prom advisor for the end of this school year. And Nicole Decker as band director, effective at the end of the school year. We have a request to hire Alec Bolche. Alec's actually here tonight. Technology support to replace both Skylar and Ben at $18.10 per hour. That'll be effective on 5/10. And also as middle school football coach next fall at level 0 at $17.18 for the year to replace Austin Castellu. Also, Don Weaver is Joe Bundy and Marshall Dennard as driver's education behind the wheel instructors at the new set rate. Contracts approved tonight. Don Weaver is Maxine Underbrunner as driver's education classroom instructors at $30 per hour. Jeremy Raymond as a full-time custodian from a temporary custodian with $13.10 plus the $1 night differential to replace Deborah Lee. We have contract changes for 21-22. Dana Gagno, high school student council, position to be split for 1 year, and that will be with Cassandra Grogan to split that position for this year at $15.57. Austin Castellu remove middle school football. Dana Gagno and Katie Wheeldryer and Al Biersbach, the amounts are there, will all now be split into prom 3 ways moving forward. Then a request to hire for 21-22 for school year. Kathleen Meyer, ESL teacher, master's plus 45 at $51,748. Maggie Laudenbach as an elementary teacher, BA at $44,255. And Melissa Larson as an elementary teacher, master's plus 30 at $51,460. And then a classified agreement-based change. Summer food service workers for 2021 at $13.25 per hour. And 21-22, $13.55 per hour. And central office administrative assistant set the base at $14.40 per hour for the 21-22 school year.
The recommendation is approval of the personnel items. We have a motion and a second before we discuss the consent agenda.
So moved.
Mrs. Schultz, is there a second? Second by Mr. Nelson. Further discussion or questions on the personnel? Yes, ma'am. We'd like to thank Mrs. Decker for her contributions to our band program and wish her well in her new position.
Yeah.
On there. Any other discussion? Mr. Brooks, I think we're ready for you.
Nelson.
Aye.
Hanemichael.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Kappeman.
Aye.
Bundy.
Abstain.
Avery.
Aye.
Farrell.
Aye. Declare that that has passed. Item number 10, I don't see anyone for delegations, so we'll move on quickly to item number 11, the administrator's report.
A few items to touch on. We'll get to the certified contract later, but the main changes in the contract are returning staff, $1,000 plus 0.9%, and the base will go to $44,000 for 2021 with $20 additional per month on insurance. That comes out to be a 2.82% increase. And for the 22-23 year, the base will go to $45,000. Returning staff would receive $1,000 plus 0.9% of their salary, and again $20 per month on insurance. And that's a 2.83% increase. Change in pay for extra duties increase from 19 to 20 per hour, and liquidated damages for July, August, and September moved up to $1,500, $2,000, $2,500. There are some other minor contract changes in there as well, but those were the main items. A COVID update. Knock on wood, we have not had a positive case since May 3rd. The week of May 3rd was the last time we went a week without a positive case. It was back in February 8th. So to date, we've had 27 cases in the elementary school of students, 24 in the middle school, and 43 in the high school, and we've had 42 staff members. Since the majority of staff got vaccinations on March 10th, we haven't had a positive with the staff since that point, so hopefully that continues. Back to school plan for 21-22. We'll review the plan in July. Once we're at that point to make some determinations. As of right now, things are going in the right direction, and I hope they continue. But it really does us no good, like last year, to make any plans until we get a little bit closer. Part of the ESSER 3 money requires the plan to be reviewed. I would hope that as we get closer to next year, if things continue, we can be back to as normal as possible. But until we get to the middle end of July, we'll see where we're at, and we'll get the committee back together, and we'll go from there. Graduation is Sunday, 2 p.m. We've handled this event like every event we've had this year. X number of tickets, 8 tickets were given to each graduate. By the time we do that, the band, the chorus, and everything will be not quite half full, but a little over a third to half full. So we've handled it just like we've handled every other event this year. Last thing I'll touch on is the end of school year. The last day of school will be May 20th. We'll have an early dismissal on the 20th. I just want to take a moment to, again, give all the credit to our students and staff for their determination and hard work in adopting to the protocol that we put in place this year and helping us have a successful year. And I also want to thank the parents for the partnership of helping us get through a very unprecedented school year. And lastly, I certainly want to thank our community for the support that they've shown our staff and our students. So bottom line, Madison is simply a great community and a great place for us to be right now. So with that, I'll quit talking.
Mr. Brooks, anything on the administrative side?
No.
Okay. That moves us on then to item number 12, Madison Central School District election information.
So with this, there's a new law requirement that we post information each year about our election. No election was held because none of our vacancies were challenged. And we listed the amount of voters we had at the time of registration as 8,001 voters in our district. We don't put that in minutes, and that'll meet our requirement for that change in law.
Okay, you might as well continue then. Any questions on that, on the election procedure? Hearing none, then Mitch, on to the summer lunch program info.
Okay, so we've got our program details timed together. We're looking to serve for summer food free lunches in June and July. We would start June 1st, because May 31st is Memorial Day. We'd end July 30th, because district registration is August 2nd and 3rd, so people's areas ready. Lunches would be served at the elementary. They'd be served Monday through Thursday, and then they'd be a pickup option for Friday. And we'll have all this information together and we'll put out notices, but that way they get 5 days worth of meals, but they serve it Monday through Thursday, and then have that sack lunch option to pick up for Friday. In elementary, there'll be hot lunches served that they can eat on site. There'll also be bagged lunches that they can then take off site. We got our waivers, they were all approved for the non-congregate feeding, which allows children to carry them off site. We also got the parental waiver, so an adult can come pick up meals for children. Our plan is to have one of our refrigerated electric coolers by the door with the sack lunches, so they can come from the south side there, grab whatever meals they need, and it'll be pretty easily available to them. We'll have the calendar, once we just kind of get our final plans together, they'll be putting the menu with all its nutrient values together. And that plan will come out, we'll get a nice brochure and handout that we can get passed around to our newspaper and our radio and daycares and community center and as many places as we can, so people will see that. I thought it came together very nice. We got staffing for it. And the waivers came through very good for us. And we were able to provide it for free again. Does anybody have questions or thoughts on that?
A little simpler than last year, but still should meet the needs, I would certainly think. Further questions of Mr. Brooks on that? Hearing none, then certified agreement, item number 14, approval. Thanks to Lori and Steve for finishing that up. I was unable to be at the last session, but any comments either of you want to make?
No comment.
No comments, okay. Your entire agreement is there. I think that we were able to do good things within the negotiations, so at this point in time, I would accept a motion in a second to approve the certified agreement.
So moved.
Mr. Harmichael, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Kappelman. Further questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks, I'm stealing your thunder.
Nelson?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Bundy?
Abstain.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Item number 15, Mr. Jorgensen.
Yeah, we received the title funding that came in, so we will be requesting to approve issuance of those part-time certified title positions now. We would like to have that approved.
The recommendation administration is to approve those people that we had basically riffed previously, or since the funding has come through. Is there a motion and a second to that effect?
So moved.
Mr. Bundy, is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Schultz. Questions or discussion? Mr. Brooks?
Nelson?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Declare that we have approved the issuance of the Title I teacher contracts. Item number 16, Department of Education application for waiver from an administrative rule for Algebra 1 being taught in the 8th grade.
This is something that comes up every 5 years, renewal process. We offer algebra in the 8th grade, and we also offer it as credit for high school. So this is the process to continue doing that. The document was linked onto the website, so we're asking that we approve the application to the Department of Education to continue offering Algebra 1 credit being taught in 8th grade for high school.
Recommendation is for approval. We need a motion and a second first.
So moved.
Oh, we got a fight going on
This is a good one.
here. All right, Rob's got it. Mrs. Schultz the second. Mr. Hanemichael with the motion. Mrs. Schultz with the second. Questions or discussion? Tremendous advantage to our students.
Yes, I was just going to say, it is a huge advantage. And personally, my daughter is a great math, has a great math mind, and took advantage of that. And now she's headed into her senior year she's taken every math possible here, and is going to do AP Stats through Northern, I think. this next year with Al helping her. So, I mean, it's been a wonderful opportunity for her, and so thank you.
Further questions, comments? Mr. Brooks?
Nelson,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Kaplan,
Aye.
Bundy,
Aye.
Avery,
Aye.
Farrell.
Aye. Declare that the waiver has been approved. Item number 17, the audit report.
So you see the audit report, this is for year end June 30th, 2020. I'll just touch a few. I mean, there's lots of information. I'll just touch a few of the key things. On page 11, it'll show our long-term liabilities, which is mostly made up of our debt. So you can kind of see, as far as liabilities and outstanding debt, we're sitting there about 10 million with those liabilities. That's always good to know where our debt stands. On page 18, on there, that shows us where we finished in each fund. If you look kind of towards the bottom of that page, it'll show where our fund balance was the prior year, where we ended on June 30th, 2020. And then it'll show the difference, how it changed on there. That's why it's key to know what direction we're going. You know, we do have things planned, we do have some spend downs like our general fund and that. But you can see exactly for cash what funds increased and what was decreased. This is also linked to our website.
Mhm.
And then page 61, this is our findings. It's the same finding we've always had, segregation of duties. We just we're not large enough, we don't have enough staff to separate out all the job duties, to remove all the risk. So it's the same finding as we've always had, but it's important to note that we did have a finding on there. And that's kind of just a few highlights. Any questions anyone had on the audit? If not, then we just look to accept it.
Okay. So we need a motion to accept the annual 2019-2020 audit report by Quam and Berglund. Is there a motion? We can have discussion following.
So moved.
Mr. Nelson makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bundy. Questions, comments, discussion? Thank you, Mr. Brooks, for doing the job you do, so we have those minimal findings also on there. Other questions or discussion? You're up, Mr. Brooks.
Nelson,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Kaplan,
Aye.
Bundy,
Aye.
Avery,
Aye.
Farrell.
Aye. Declare that we have accepted the 2019-2020 audit report. Speaking of audits, we have an opportunity next to enter into our agreement. Mr. Brooks, anything you want to say?
So this would be for this next year. It's not often we do the two in the same meeting. It's a change, it's a $1,000 increase. That mainly has to do with the amount of federal dollars we've been receiving. Whenever there's a first year federal program, there's stipulations they have to follow with it. So there'll be a lot more work done, especially the dollar amounts of what we've been getting on there. But our recommendation would be to approve Quam and Berglund for conducting this year's audit once we complete the year.
The recommendation is for approval of the audit by the same firm with an increase because of the federal dollars. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Mrs. Schultz, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Hanmichael. Questions, discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Brooks.
Nelson,
Aye.
Michael,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Kaplan,
Aye.
Bundy,
Aye.
Avery,
Aye.
Farrell.
Aye. Mr. Brooks, you're on a roll. You number 19 too.
So when we went self-operating with our food service, we still provide food and services to St. Thomas. This is our agreement that it's a profile you give in the state, and you just enter in your own information into it. The changes to it, the meal price, we went from $1.40 to $1.45 per meal. Our delivery charge went from $5 per delivery day to $5.15. And we kept the milk the should be coming in very similar on that. And I just thought you guys would want to probably see this. We have small changes each year just based on where our costs come in. Our meal cost is just the food, the labor we already have in place and we have anyways. We don't pass that on, then we just pass on the food.
The recommendation would be approval of the food service agreement with St. Thomas School. Is there a motion to that effect? Mr. Nelson, second?
Second.
Mrs. Kappelman. Questions or discussion?
But one thing, they've already kind of agreed on their side to it, and that's what brings it to us.
Okay, so it has been agreed upon by them. It's our matter of approval. I think it's a good neighbor thing to do also, very definitely.
It worked very well this year.
I guess, Mr. Brooks, you're up.
Nelson?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Kapperman?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Declare this food service agreement with St. Thomas has passed. One more agreement, Mr. Brooks.
Yeah. So this is a food service agreement with the Harrisburg School. This is for management. You can see the list of responsibilities and other provisions. Having them was a great help to us, making sure we meet all of our requirements, all of our nutritional values, we kind of do our menu planning, all of our nutrition analysis, make sure we're meeting all of the state requirements. On that, the amount is kept the same from last year of $11,000. We pay half at the beginning of the year, half upon conclusion of the year. We would recommend this strongly. This was a very helpful thing for us to get, especially keeping our food service going and maintaining good standards.
Very helpful.
So recommendation of administration would be approval of the agreement with the Harrisburg School for our food service.
So moved.
Mr. Hanamichael, is there a second?
Second.
Mrs. Kappelman. Further questions, discussion? Mr. Brooks?
Nelson?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Kapperman?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Declare the food service agreement with Harrisburg has passed. Mr. Jorgensen, you have 21.
Well, it's sort of a tag team, but we have again for this year as far as curriculum, special development director for Diana Tyler. It was the same as the principals, I believe, 1.9, is that right, Mitch?
Yeah, but 1.9%
1.9% increase.
year that one after our administrative negotiations.
It's a contracted service. She does our curriculum research for us and involves our staff as needed.
Worked very well for us in the past.
It has.
Her willingness to continue, I think, is a plus for us. Recommendation to approve. Let's have a motion so we can move forward.
So moved.
Mrs. Schultz, is there a second? Second. Mr. Bundy. Further discussion or questions? Hearing none, Mr. Brooks.
Sorry.
I lost you.
All right, got it. Nelson?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Kapman?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Declare that the contract is approved for our curriculum director. Number 22, Mr. Brooks, we're back to you.
So with this one, just quick, this is our preliminary budget. And then after this is our starting point. We'll have our committees meet with our capital outlay and our finance committee, and then we'll bring back a proposed budget at the next meeting. And we'll set that budget hearing date, review through there. But just kind of a quick overview of this. You can see along the top what's proposed for this next year, what was adopted for this year, any of those differences. I think a key piece to see under the means of finance, there's that fund balance usage. If it's kind of backwards, but if it's a positive number, then we're using fund balance. If it's a negative number, then we're putting back towards fund balance. And just as an example, with the general fund, we'd be using $456,000 of fund balance. With capital outlay, we'd be setting aside $410,000 for the early payment of bonds. You can see the different places where you get revenue, and then under the appropriations, By function, this is how the state would have us reported. It lists by function where the money is to be spent on that. So that's just the preliminary. In the past, we've set our budget hearing in our June meeting, typically like 5:45, 15 minutes into the meeting when we started. And I know everybody's most exciting stretch of board meetings when we go through all the numbers.
It's only 10 minutes that we have.
Yeah.
All right, so again, we would need a motion in a second for approval of the preliminary budget, and as a part of that, we would set our budget hearing date of being June the 14th at 5:45. Have a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Mr. Hanamichael, is there a second?
Second.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to Mr. Bundy because he's closer. All right, further questions or discussion? Thanks for your work on this, Mitch. I think it tells a good story for us. Any others, questions or discussion?
Just one thought on it. When we do a budget meeting, you'll see all the federal dollars where we're gonna have them allocated to. I think that'd be a nice thing to see broken out where that's all going, how we're using it. And the finance committee will see that earlier, but I think that's a good thing to make sure we're just aware of and tracking.
Further questions, discussion? If not, Mr. Brooks?
Nelson?
Aye.
Hanamichael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Kaplan?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Item number 23, candidates for the Board of Directors of the South Dakota High School Activities Association. Mr. Jorgensen.
Yep, the three different positions. The easiest vote is for the Division III representative because the options are Derek Barrios or Derek Barrios. So I say we vote for Derek. He did a good job. Division IV representative, I would recommend that we cast a vote for Eric Denning of Mount Vernon. He would do an excellent job as well. And the West River at large, I would recommend that we cast a vote for Todd Palmer from Sturgis Brown.
Okay, so we have a recommendation of the three candidates for the open positions on the Activities Association Board. Would be a motion to that effect. Mr. Nelson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Schultz. Questions or discussion? And we cast those three candidates, Mr. Brooks?
Nelson?
Aye.
Hanamichael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Kaplan?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye, declare it's passed. One more item, constitutional amendment for the Activities Association.
Yeah, if you notice, the constitutional amendment is one we will definitely support. We recommend supporting, I should say. It's going to use the enrollment vote, our enrollment number that they use will be the last Friday in September, like we use, like all the schools use. They would have that number earlier. It's more of a solid number for them versus the December one. It just makes total sense why it wasn't there before. I don't really have any idea. We would recommend that we vote a yes vote on amendment number 1.
So the recommendation is for a passage on that, a motion and a second.
So moved.
Mrs. Schultz, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Kaplan. Questions, discussion? Mr. Brooks, you're the man.
Nelson?
Aye.
Hanamichael?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Kaplan?
Aye.
Bundy?
Aye.
Avery?
Aye.
Farrell?
Aye. Declare that the constitutional amendment, we cast a yes vote on. Next item we have is executive session. Dan, I think you can probably wrap up, and we're not probably going to take any action. So once you're done, let us know, and we'll enter